Can we wait for 5 minutes, ma'am?
Okay, no issues.
Because I think other students are talking with the Anand sir in
No
pre.
issues. I'll wait. I'll wait. No issues.
Anand sir is explaining about the documents. So I think some students asking their doubts. That's why.
Okay, काही problem नहीं है. Let sir finish. Just inform me. We will begin with the session. I am here only. ठीक है?
Okay, okay.
A moment. Yes. So most of them have joined. No, we can begin now. No.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, yes.
Okay. We are now starting with second unit, that is theories of entrepreneurship, a small unit basically. This unit particularly talks about the philosophies and theories which are there, which are being given by the scholars like Joseph Schumpeter, Mclelland is there. Uh, so we have divided the theories into psychological theories and physiological theories. So some theories, they are putting stress on the philosophy behind person becoming an entrepreneur. So some theories put forward the scenario that some people tend, or let's say a person tends to become an entrepreneur because of his inner motivation. Now how the level of inner motivation is, what acts as an inner motivation for him, so the theories cover this psychological part of it. So without wasting much of time, we'll now begin with it. Schumpeter's theory of innovation. Joseph Schumpeter's theory of innovation, very important theory in terms of learning entrepreneurship. This particular theory talks about, Joseph Schumpeter's theory of innovation talks about looking at entrepreneurship as a creative activity which can disrupt the routine or circular flow of economy, thereby initiating and sustaining the process of development. Now a lot of things are included in the explanation for theory of innovation. Now what it is, entrepreneurship, becoming an entrepreneur, it's a creative activity. So it's there is not some mathematical involved in person becoming an entrepreneur. There is it's not like from generations to generations the person will become an entrepreneur. It is not like that. So it's a creative activity which disrupts the routine or circular flow of economy. Somewhere the flow of economy gets disrupted, some changes happen in this in the routine which the economy is following. Now what do we mean by this? It may happen that a particular economy may be an agrarian economy, like we have Indian economy is an agrarian economy. Basically most of the income which our economy generates is through agriculture, agricultural income. So now the scenario is changing. Now we are into services like US economy, IT being major part of delivering the services. The major revenue comes through IT services in our economy. But basically talking, it is the agrarian economy which Indian economy is known for. So what does this mean? It is the basic income, or it is the basic nature of employment, we can say, people belonging to this particular economy have. Rather
So,
than pursuing, yes.
uh, आत्ताची जी इकॉनॉमी आहे तिला आपण मिक्स इकॉनॉमी का म्हणतो? जर आपली
Sorry, see, I'm no any hard feelings, but बिझनेस लँग्वेज हम इंग्लिशमध्येच आपण बोलूया. कारण आपली प्रॅक्टिस तेवढी व्हायला पाहिजे. वी शुड बी युझिंग दिस लँग्वेज बिकॉज इन कमिंग इयर्स वेन वी विल बी वर्किंग इन दी ऑर्गनायझेशन्स we would be making use of English. So we'll try here also talking in English only. No
येस येस
hard feelings, but
फ्रॉम
this is just for
19
our practice.
yes ma'am from 1991 India is adopted a mixed economy policy, right? Correct.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
But why it's called mixed economy?
Mixed economy because earlier, like I said, major. एक minute, I'm just trying to increase the volume a bit. Earlier, the major source for our economy, majority of the income was used to get generated because of agriculture. We were having a lot of agricultural resources, and basically we were dependent on the agriculture. But now what is happening, as I said, we have good network, we have a good base for IT services. Even we have started manufacturing other commodities. We have world class factories here set up in India, like Boeing factory is there. If you look at other states like Bangalore and Karnataka, even they, Hyderabad also, they are also becoming the IT hubs. And on world map, these cities are known for providing IT services. So now, if we talk about, or let's say if we talk prior to 1991, before liberalization, privatization, that scenario, if the government used to get 100 rupees out of all the businesses and all the manufacturing which was taking place in our country, majority of it used to get generated because of agriculture. So we had, let's say, 70 rupees used to come from this agricultural sector. But now what is happening, we have started manufacturing other commodities as well. So somewhere some factory is there which is which is busy manufacturing
Rajni
some.
ma'am, sorry to interrupt you. We are unable to see your screen.
ओके, ठीक है, एक मिनट. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yes, it's visible.
Fine. So what we are discussing is, now we have adopted to liberalization and privatization policies. We have opened the doors to other manufacturers across the globe. We are welcoming them and we are making them set up their factories. So the infrastructure of our country is getting developed and we are getting income by manufacturing of these activities. Earlier, we did not have such people or such manufacturers operating their units here in India. It was only the income we used to get was only through agriculture. And this is the result of mixed economy. We are now manufacturing the other commodities as well. So agricultural income is still there. It is still predominant. Slowly and steadily the ratio is going down. But still our economy is known as agrarian economy. Maybe in coming years, maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, probably the IT services or other manufacturing units will definitely take over this, and our economy would not be called as an agrarian economy, because we are also encouraging the other manufacturers other than agriculture to come and start their units here in India. So Joseph Schumpeter's theory of innovation tells us that this entrepreneurship, starting something of your own, is a creative activity which disrupts the circular flow of economy. How the economy is moving. This entrepreneurship is actually breaking that circle. How? By initiating and sustaining the process of development. Now, in family also, we observe this. Suppose it's a tradition where people are usually following a particular uh, trading activity. Let's say there would be people, or there is a family maybe it's a third generation or fourth generation, they are into trading activities, buying and selling activities. Let's say buying and selling of pulses, rice, stuff like that, kirana shops jo hote. Now from this family, tomorrow if a person wishes that rather than following this set pattern of buying and selling of rice and pulses, why not start something into maybe any other form of service, or why not start manufacturing, going one step back and manufacturing uh, rice or buying in bulk quantities this thing and start trading. So rather than serving locally or rather than serving in my locality, why not serve on a district level, why not serve at maybe national level, something like that. So this person is actually breaking this circular flow of economy. Somewhere he is disturbing, somewhere he is crossing that, or he is cutting that pattern. And that is what is innovation according to Schumpeter. So whatever set path people don't follow and they start something of their own, they innovate. That is the reason the entrepreneurship takes birth according to Schumpeter's theory of innovation. Okay? So what this theory in detail tells us, innovation theory was developed or proposed by Schumpeter, who believed that an entrepreneur could earn economic profit by introducing successful innovations. So theory believes that if we have to make economic profit, if we want to progress economically, if the economy wants to progress, then there has to be introduction of successful innovation. If you follow the set format, there won't be any economical development, because that format only you are continuing. If you are traveling and if you catch a bus which is already running at 30 per kilometer ka speed, it is not increasing, it is not decreasing also, it is steadily following that 30 kilometer ka speed, then you will not reach your destination earlier. Definitely you will not reach your destination earlier, because it is not increasing and decreasing as well. An innovator is one who tries to play with that speed. Sometimes, if he believes that the road is empty, there is no one who is overtaking me, or there is no traffic on the road, then he can increase the speed. When he sees that the road conditions are difficult, now it's time for me to have a steady speed. So according to the road conditions, when he changes his gear, when he changes his approach, that is nothing but innovation, because he is applying something, he is applying logic, and accordingly he is changing the gear. Understanding? So this is what Joseph Schumpeter believed. In order to achieve economic development, or in order to have entrepreneurial development, this is how innovation helps us. This is how innovation helps an economy. If I have to put these same things into other words, this innovation theory of profit given by Joseph Schumpeter, it says that the main function of an entrepreneur is to introduce innovations and the profit in terms of, or in form of, reward given for his performance. So an entrepreneur, the main function of an entrepreneur is to introduce these innovations, and the profit is the reward for his performance which he has shown. So if his performance is good, he will earn more profit. If his performance is not up to the mark, probably he will not earn profit, he will just continue. Now it also refers, now what do we mean by innovation here? We have seen innovation is not always doing or coming up with something which nobody has ever seen. Innovation means the way you do the things, the way you differently do the things is also an innovation. So innovation refers to any new policy the entrepreneur undertakes to reduce the overall cost of production, or maybe to increase the demand for this production, can also be treated as an innovation. I know that, suppose I'm dealing with a vegetable vendor. Now, usually I come to know about the rates of a particular vegetable. Suppose rates for tomato or maybe onions or potato, I know. Through newspaper also I come to know, and generally also I know that this is what the rates for this particular vegetable or commodity is. Now, when an entrepreneur or when an the person who is dealing with these commodities, when he tries to reduce the overall cost of production, now how he tries to reduce the cost of production, there his innovative skills lies. Maybe he'll store the commodities. See, this is just the example. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये सब चीज़ों के लिए applicable होगा. We are just understanding how he can innovate. So he may go for cold storage of the goods, or he may find out newer techniques or newer with the by applying newer technology, if he can reduce it. So he basically does this trial and error kind of thing and applies to it, and that is called as innovation. So this innovation can be classified into two categories. So innovation basically covers these cases, and how we are classifying these 5 cases into, let us see that. So this innovation, as I said, into two categories. The first category includes those activities which actually reduce the cost of production. Even that can be an innovation. If जैसे if I want to make a vehicle fuel efficient, how can innovation be applied here? Fuel efficient, अगर मुझे मेरी कार बनानी है, या फिर the cars which I am going to launch in the market, I want to make them fuel efficient. So I can innovate here by finding out how can I reduce the cost of production of the of some of the parts, or let's say the engine, or can I replace some of the components so the fuel efficiency of the car can be improved. So basically I am dealing with finding out newer options here. I am trying to innovate. Are you understanding? जस्ट हम लोग एग्जाम्पल्स ले रहे टू मेक द कंसेप्ट क्लियर. सो कैन वी हैव newer machines introduced? Can we have newer methods or innovative methods of organizing the resources or organizing the industry? Can that be possible? Is one way I can see whether I can innovate, and accordingly I can go for entrepreneurial development. Second category would include all those activities which increase the demand for product. Either I can innovate, or I can find out whether I can increase the demand for my products or not. So in 1 second. So introduction of new goods, maybe introduction of new methods of production, or finding newer market for your product can also be an innovation. For example, I was earlier catering to the places which are nearby to my area. Now I am thinking of crossing the district borders and trying to reach to a newer segment, newer market. If I was earlier operating in this particular state, can I now think of going to the nearby states? So in this way, can I find the market for my products or not? So if the answer is yes, meaning it's nothing but an innovation, because I was not earlier catering to these particular customers, but now I have new customers also. So innovation में ये भी आता है, that if you all together find a newer market for your product, even that means an innovation. Conquest for a new source of supply of raw material. Finding a new source of supply of raw material can also be an innovation. If you one day I was watching this, again the same example, OMG on that History TV 18. If you have seen that program, you will find how people are innovating. Basically, they are innovating. So that innovation can happen in terms of playing an instrument, or maybe following a new sport, or maybe developing some building material. So that program is full of innovations, I can say. So the current example which I saw there was how the bricks are manufactured. Now that person has innovated and he has used some the leftover textiles, he converts it into something, and that can be used in this manufacturing of bricks. And he is trying to reduce the cost of manufacturing of these houses. So lot of such innovations are happening around us. Even there is one cafe in Andheri which serves completely right from kneading the dough, and within 5 minutes a freshly baked pizza comes in front of you. You just have to put some amount in that machine, and within 5 minutes the product is ready. And this is of first kind the Indians have developed it. So point is, this is how we can innovate. Or carrying out of new organization, maybe we can have a new organizational structure also to carry out the things, and that can be the example of innovation. And Joseph's Computer's theory of innovation tells us that by focusing on these aspects or these options, you can develop an entrepreneurial abilities in a person. So the theory basically stresses on innovation, finding newer ways. So that innovation can be in these 5 cases: न्यू प्रोडक्ट इंट्रोड्यूस करना है, या फिर न्यूअर मेथड ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, मे बी अ न्यू मार्केट, न्यू सोर्स ऑफ सप्लाई ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल, और ऑल टुगेदर finding a newer way of carrying out your activities, the organizational structure. Fine, shall we move ahead?
Yes.
Okay, any doubt in this? The theories are simple. If you read, also a lot of material is available on Google. अच्छा, that reminds me, जो unit 1 है उसके PPTs I have to share. So how can I share it? Is there any way? क्योंकि on Zoom I don't know whether I put it here or not, or maybe Anand sir के पास I'll send it to Anand sir. He will distribute it to you. ठीक है. सो वंस द लेक्चर इज ओवर, मैं सर के पास पीपीटी भेज देती हूँ. ठीक है. सो या, सो एनी डाउट इन दिस थियरी? एज आई वाज डिस्कसिंग दैट लॉट्स ऑफ मटेरियल इज अवेलेबल. गूगल करके वी कैन फाइंड, maybe if you want to read more about the theory of innovation, lots of material is available. You can refer. Any doubt you have, we'll discuss it in class. ठीक है. Moving to the next theory, that is theory of achievement by Mclelland. Now again, a very famous personality in the field of, he has done lot of work in the theory of motivation, human psychology. So that he has done lot of work. Now along with his colleague, he has carried out the work. And what this theory, Mclelland's theory believes that, his colleague's name is Henry Murray. He developed long list of motives. This scholar named Henry Murray, he developed long list of motives which basically help in shaping the personality of a person. So these motives are acting as I said, these are motives which are acting as a inspirational things people are getting inspired towards. So in theory of in Mclelland's theory of theory for need for achievement theory is also talking about the achievement acting as a motivational factor for entrepreneurial development. Psychology related theory है. Along with his colleague, along with his associate Henry Murray, Mclelland, they together developed, or they found out lot many other motives which act as motivating factors for a particular personality. For example, In case of Domino's, the founder, for him, this motivation was he was not having job during World War II. So it was really in front of him the question mark that now what to do. So out of this brainstorming session, he found that why not start something in these lines. And this is how the motivating factor of what to do, how to survive in this situation became the motivating factor, and the story is there in front of us. So this theory of need for achievement, जिसको बोला जाता है एन आर्च, small n and arch for this achievement. So this theory, n arch or need for achievement theory, it is closely associated with learning theory. What learning theory? Because Mclelland believed that needs are learned or acquired by kinds of events we experience in our environment and culture. For example, a child, now how he understands that whenever I am hungry I have to cry, and this is how I have to get things, or this is how I get my food. How he learns this? Once he does this activity, no, unknowingly. Imagine a 2 months old क्या बोलेंगे infant, or maybe 6 months old infant, when he cries, so he understands that once I cry, if I cry in high pitch, my mother understands that something is wrong with my baby, with my infant. So she hurriedly comes and she sees that probably it is the hunger the child is crying. So she gives me what I need at that time. If it is not hunger, if the boy, if that infant wants to play, or he just wants to be in the arms of his mother, then what he does, he throws that bottle of milk away, and in louder pitch, he continues with his cry. So this is how the infant learns. This is how his learning process is. So he understands that what I need right now, if that need is satisfied, then he is happy, he starts laughing. If he is not satisfied, his need is not satisfied, he shows some other behavioral trait, and this is how he learns कि ये करना है. If I want something, if I don't get, probably anger is the newer thing or newer expression which I can use to get what things I want. So crying turns into anger turns into throwing tantrums, फिर चीजें यहाँ वहाँ फेंकना and all those things start happening. This is how the child develops. So this Mclelland's theory is associated with this learning theory because Mclelland believed that this is how the needs are learned, or in this way they are acquired by kinds of events people experience in their environment. What further he found that people who acquire a particular need behave differently from those who do not have. Suppose a child gets, और सेम एग्जाम्पल हम लोग बच्चों का कंटिन्यू करते हैं. इफ अ चाइल्ड गेट्स what he wants, his behavior would be different than those, even after begging, even after crying, even after showing tantrums. If still they don't get how their behavior is, there is definitely some difference. Any example from your side in terms of understanding this difference in behavior? Example? Maybe you can give example of a teenage boy or teenage girl. If she or he wants something, or if she or he has something, so his or her behavior towards that thing, and those who do not have and their behavior. Any example? Suppose I like reading. Whenever I see a book, I just go through it, or I just find out the back side of the book contains, in brief, the storyline. Now, if I like that storyline, I start reading, and if I enjoy reading, and if I like the story, then I try to read it, and my approach would be reading it and not keeping the book down till I finish reading, because this is what I like. Compared to one, Mr. X, who does not like reading at all, never he has enjoyed. So he sees the book and he looks at it, maybe just tries to read one or two lines here and there, and simply keeps the book down, saying that I don't have time, itna kaun abhi time galayega, I have other things to do. It's simple that I take out my phone and maybe, I just explore something over there. So this is what is the difference when some people who enjoy reading and the one who are not at all habitual towards that need. So there is some difference in terms of the way people behave. In this theory of achievement, need achievement, what Mclelland says, people with high achievement orientation. He stressed that people who have the high need of high achievement orientation, meaning who need to succeed, they were more likely to become entrepreneurs. And those who did not have this high orientation towards achievement, अगर हुआ तो भी चलेगा, नहीं हुआ I'll find out another way, such approach, people having such approach were least likely to become the entrepreneur, or lesser likely to become the entrepreneur. So this theory believes that, अभी पहले के theory में क्या था, that innovation, doing something new, carrying out things in a different way, was the baseline for the theory for becoming an entrepreneur. Now this theory believes that it is actually your achievement orientation, that I want to succeed, I want to achieve something. This orientation makes a person become an entrepreneur. So those who possess this orientation in higher percentage are more likely to become an entrepreneur, because this achievement orientation is acting as need to succeed. So they are more likely to become an entrepreneurs, and compared to others who have this achievement orientation in lesser amount, or those who don't believe much in achievement orientation, they have lesser need towards success, are lesser likely to become an entrepreneur. Fine. What more this theory tells us? This need achievement is it is acting as the drive to excel, or drive to succeed, to achieve in relation to the set standard. A person, again, जो गाड़ी का स्पीड था 30 का, उससे I will reach to my destination, but I have not achieved anything out of it. I just sat in that car. The car was going, so was I. Car was moving in a particular direction with a particular speed, which I caught, and I also followed the same. So there is no need of achieving something here. Whereas a person who have this high motivation towards driving or towards achieving something, he wants that I should reach my destination within so and so time with these factors. This is acting as a base to succeed. In other, if I have to give you, or if I have to present the same thing in some other words, how it is need for achievement is the behavior directed towards competition with standard of excellence. So this basic theory basically talks about the competitive nature of a person. That competitive nature meaning need to succeed. If I have this need to succeed, high level hai, meaning I am quite competitive towards it. Such people are not influenced by money or external incentives. It is only the need to succeed which drives them. It is not money, it is not external incentives, it is not any other perk or benefit which motivates them. It is exclusively the need to succeed. Such people, they consider profit to be measure of success and competency. So if they have to measure their success, it is, or the competency, the way they are carrying out the things, it is, the output should be profit. So if I am successful, I'll earn more profit. If I am not successful, I will not earn that much of profit. Simple calculation these people have, those who believe that entrepreneurship is a need achievement based phenomena. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है? Now he also identified two characteristics of entrepreneurship: doing things in new and better way, decision making under uncertainty. Both these two characteristics represent the inner motive to achieve something. So this inner motive is doing things in new and better way, जिसमें थोड़ा innovation factor भी है, but then I want to do it in better way than others. So it also contains that competitive nature given by Mclelland. Above characteristics govern the economic behavior of person to become an entrepreneur. So if you find that one of your friend is quite competitive in nature, he is always trying to do things in a better way than you, he is always trying to do things, or he is always trying to do new things than what you try to do, and always enjoys decision making under uncertainty. So this reflects the competitive nature of a person who wants to achieve something in life. You may say that the person has the entrepreneurial abilities as per Mclelland's theory of need of achievement. Right? Then we have another theory, Lebenstein's X efficiency theory. Now this theory is little tricky, and then tricky factor is understanding this X efficiency. Now what is this X efficiency? This is a factor. Again, as I said, these theories are dealing with human psychology. So to understand, let us first understand what is this X efficiency. Now, this particular theory points out the irrational actions which the actions in the market the firms have. Irrational actions matlab, now when we say, abhi economics ka part hai, little bit of economics we are talking. Now when we say market, we have competition, and the nature of competition differs from market to market. Sometimes we have heard terms like oligopolistic market or imperfect market, perfect market. So discussing or assuming these types of market, taking these types of market into consideration, we are throwing light on this theory, X efficiency theory. So this theory talks about the irrational actions by the firms in the market. Now, what are these irrational actions? Meaning, sometimes the firm, the companies or the organizations, they maximize the production at lowest possible cost, even when the market was not efficient. By carrying out some things, first, पहले हम लोग सुन लेते, then if at all you have any doubt, we'll ask. थोड़ा समझ लो पहले X efficiency का. I'm just explaining you the background of it. So this theory believes that, or this theory first explains the irrational actions of firms in the market. Now ये irrational actions क्या है? Sometimes these companies they maximize the production at lowest possible cost. They increase the production, but how they increase production? by keeping the costs lowest, even when the market was not efficient. Sometimes it happens that कुछ calculations के लिए the companies do things differently. Even if the raw material is costlier, still I go ahead and do the production. Sometimes if the raw material is available in cheap quantity, cheap rates, still I don't increase my production and I continue with it. So this represents the irrational action of the firms in the market. Even now this Lebenstein, he's a professor, Harvard professor, and he was an economist. He challenged this behavior of the firms and called this behavior as X, that is unknown behavior. That is why the theory is X efficiency. Now he didn't understand why the firms are behaving in this irrational way. Irrational मतलब unjustifiable. अगर if the raw material is available at cheaper rates, my cost of production will go down. When my cost of production will go down, I can, in that same cost of production, I can increase the production and can take the advantage. क्योंकि cost of production मेरी कम हो रही है, मतलब if I am making a particular commodity, मानो pencil, suppose that I am manufacturing that pencil at 1 rupee cost and selling it at 3 rupees, so I am earning 2 rupees profit here. In this irrational, or let's say this X or unknown behavior of markets, what is happening? Because the raw material is available at cheaper rates, my cost of production is now, let's say, 75 paise or maybe 50 paise for that matter. So my profit is getting maximized. So what as a manufacturer should I do? I should take advantage of this situation and manufacture more because the raw material is available at cheaper rate. But then this doesn't happen. You feel that now companies should manufacture more, but then this doesn't happen, and this is the unknown behavior or X anomaly of the market of these companies. So X efficiencies. In the absence of competition, the companies are more tolerant of inefficiencies in their operations. So basically, these are the scenarios which explain the irrational behavior of firms. Fine. What further he says, एक minute, huh? What further he says, X efficiency is the degree of inefficiency on the use of resources within the firm. So how much X efficiency is, or what this X efficiency is, how inefficiently you are using the resources. Same example, when the raw material is available in ample quantities at reduced prices, but it's our inefficiency that we are not making use of the situation and we are not producing more. So X efficiency theory, what it is the degree of inefficiency on the usage of resources. Now this concept of X efficiency is used to estimate how much more efficient a company would be in a more competitive environment. So this theory focuses on the X efficiency, which tells me how much more efficient a company would be in the competitive environment. When I say that there is this X factor or X that is unknown thing, the company is unable to come up with, or the organization is unable to take the advantage of the situation. So this talks about the inefficiency. X efficiency meaning it is talking about that unknown scenario why the companies are not acting on it. Now this arises either because the firm's resources are used in wrong way or they are not used at all. So what explanation the scholar is giving here, this inefficiency is arising because the resources are used in wrong way. The raw materials probably which is available in cheaper quantities, maybe it is getting consumed more. Maybe there is some problem with my manufacturing process, or there is something happening in my manufacturing, so I am unable to take advantage of their reduced cost. मेरी production उतनी ही हो रही है, or I am not using the situation at all. The reduced prices I am not making use of. This could be the reason. So this theory, X efficiency, is in this way telling us when we are talking about entrepreneurship, this is what the person is. If he is either having some things are lacking, or he is not using his inner abilities at all to pursue or to become an entrepreneur. So there are some, if I mean in a particular person, these things are categorized as X efficiency. Fine. Simple theory given by Knight, theory of profit. Now what this theory of profit tells us: entrepreneurs are specialized group of persons who bear risk and deal with uncertainty. We are all quite aware about these statement. ये हम बहुत पहले से देखते आ रहे हैं. So who are entrepreneurs? These are the specialized group of people who bear the risk and they are dealing with uncertainty. So we'll call those people as entrepreneurs who are bearing the risk and who are dealing with the uncertainty or uncertain situations. So they receive pure profit, which is the reward for bearing the cost of uncertainty. Now, when I'm dealing as an entrepreneur, when I'm dealing with this cost of uncertainty, the reward which I receive for this is nothing but the pure profit which I have generated. Situation where problem of alternatives can't be determined either by prior reasoning or by statistical inference, it is identified as uncertainty. Now किसको हम uncertainty बोलते हैं? To what situation we call it as uncertainty? It can be a situation where probability of alternatives cannot be determined. What alternative can be, that I cannot decide. How many alternatives I can come up with. If I am unable to decide, meaning it's an uncertainty because I don't know, I am unable to find out the alternatives. Or the statistical inference. Now also in this pandemic also we have seen how these models are helping, or how these models are intimating us about the coming waves as per the model developed by so and so people. Now they are using these statistical models, they are applying the statistical techniques and machine learning models and other things to the situation, to the number of patients, and taking these variables into consideration. The statisticians are able to predict the behavior, the we can say the nature of the calamity, the nature of uncertainty. So if you cannot take out the statistical inference, or if you cannot come up with statistical inference, even that is called as an uncertainty. So we have seen uncertainty किसको बोलते हैं, who those people are when they overcome this uncertainty, or when they deal with risk, they bear the risk. If these qualities are present in a person, he can be called as an entrepreneur. Last theory to learn, theory of social change given by Hegel. Now what this theory tells us: the creative personality is an individual characterized by high need for achievement, order, and autonomy. So Mclelland's theory had only this N-arch or achievement as the base for becoming an entrepreneur. Now theory of social change given by Hegel also talks about need to order and need to autonomy. If person believes in or he has high inclination towards achievement need, or giving away orders, or enjoying autonomy, he can be the next entrepreneur amongst us. हम में से वो एक बंदा बन सकता है. He views entrepreneur as a creative problem solver, interested in things in the practical and technological realm, and driven by duck to achieve. Now, this point basically talks about the inner abilities of a person. Now, as per Hagen, for a person to become an entrepreneur, he should be a creative problem solver. In a creative way, not in a traditional way. He should be a problem solver. He should find newer ways of dealing with problems. If pandemic is coming, it should not coming as in, if when this is going on, some people found the newer ways of selling, newer ways of reaching people. So those are the creative problem solvers, interested in things in the practical and technological realm. uh, how the current situation is, how the technology is growing. In shade of these, in the light of this practical atmosphere or practical environment and the technological environment, the entrepreneur, as per Hagen, when he is interested in carrying out the things and is also driven by the duck to achieve, this achievement motivation is always there in him. So these theories are basically telling us whom we can call an entrepreneur as. So computer's theory tells us, agar if he can innovate, then he will be called as an entrepreneur. Mclelland's theory tells us, if he has high need for achievement orientation, then we'll call it as entrepreneur. Hagen's theory tells us, if he has need for achievement, autonomy, and order, then we can call that individual as an entrepreneur. So here we are ending with second unit as well. So both these two units PPT I will share with Sir. Sir will distribute it to you. Read about these theories. The theories are very simple in nature. In case you don't understand anything, please let me know. We will discuss it in class. Fine. So we are stopping our session here. I'll see you next time. Please let me know anything, any doubt you have. Please let me know. Fine. So good night, and I'll see you in next class. Yeah.
Thank you,
Bye
ma'am.
bye. Yeah. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.